Johnson County War. It's the 1880s in the Wyoming Territory, and things are going great for cattle baron Frank Wolcott. For the past 10 years, he and his friends had figured out how to use the vast amounts of public lands in the region to create what was essentially an infinite money glitch. Every year, Wolcott and the other large cattle ranchers would release their animals into the wild and let them graze on the open range all year before rounding them back up again in the fall. By doing this, Wolcott and his friends didn't have to pay for the land, feed, and water for their animals, giving them ridiculous profit margins. This made them all insanely rich, and so they formed the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, or WSGA for short, and through this organization, they would socialize at the exclusive Cheyenne Club, rubbing elbows with the local and national elite. They had money, power, and influence, and felt untouchable. But everything changes in 1867 when the Union Pacific Railroad reaches Wyoming and thousands of settlers begin flooding into the territory to take advantage of the Homestead Act of 1862. Many of these homesteaders were Civil War veterans, recently freed slaves, and other people who were down on their luck, and they were all looking to start fresh out west. These homesteaders quickly claimed their lands, and unfortunately for Frank Wolcott, these lands were the same ones he and his friends were using for their insanely profitable cattle businesses. Homesteaders began putting up fences, blocking off food and water for their own crops and animals, and soon, many of them began trying to raise cattle themselves. Seemingly overnight, the money printing machine that Wolcott and his friends had enjoyed for 2 decades began to sputter. Don't get me wrong, they were still making a ton of money, but this decrease in profits was simply unacceptable. So, in an attempt to put a stop to all this, Wolcott pushes for the passing of the Maverick Act, which made his organization, the WSGA, the official owner of any unbranded calf. See, mix-ups were common in this free-range ranching system, and homesteaders often ended up with unbranded cattle in their herd at roundup. With mix-ups so common, this new bill essentially turned every independent rancher into a cattle rustler, which on the frontier was a crime punishable by death. The bill passes, and in the summer of 1889, a 29-year-old homesteader named Ella Watson is found with a few extra unbranded cattle in her herd. Her neighbor, a member of Wolcott's organization,